Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade, the Braxton Season 1 Episode 5 review. So in this week's episode, we begin with Trina telling Tawanda about the meeting that she and little Kevin had with their lawyer. And at the meeting, the lawyer discussed with little Kevin about his mom's affairs and how she not only told people that she wanted him to be over her affairs and that anything that she had would go to him, but that she and the lawyer had these conversations when she was lucid. This was before things got really bad. She was up and about cooking when they had these conversations, and she allowed him to video record these conversations for proof that she was in her right mind when doing so. So the issue is that Big Kevin, his father, has had an issue with the fact that Tracy left everything to their son and not him. And that has caused a rift in their relationship. I guess he feels like, or has said that he thought that Tracy wasn't in her right mind when she said this. I don't know, but it's caused a rift between him and his son, which is very unfortunate. I was shocked when the son even said to the lawyer that I was born into this family, you were married in. And I was like, ooh, 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 woo. And it's honestly truly sad because I've gone through this in my own family, going through it right now in my own family when somebody passes and money and estates and homes and cars are involved. And it's just crazy to me how money ruins families and brings out the worst in people, because I would think, as being her husband, that I would respect her wishes. That's her money, her legacy that she wants her son to be over. And I'm wondering, did she ever tell Big Kevin this, or did she lead Kevin to believe that he would have some part in it? I don't know. We weren't there, so I guess we will never technically know. But like I've said, would also think that I would be more concerned over the fact that I lost my wife than being mad about who she decided to leave her earthly things to. My wife is gone. It doesn't even matter at this point if she left me anything, because whether it's money, a house, or whatever, it's not going to bring my wife back. And if this is going to help our son to better his life, his livelihood, his children, then why am I mad? It's just me and my son now. We're all that we got technically. Of course, they have other family, but like we're the nucleus of this thing. I would think that I would care more about having a relationship with my son and making sure that he's mentally and emotionally okay than fighting with him about money. That's just my spin on it. It's crazy. It really honestly is. And I feel bad for little Kevin. I feel bad that he's been put into this position to have to go up against his father over something so trivial at the end of the day, because they're both mourning the loss of the most important person in their life. And it's just really disheartening. It really truly is. And I don't even know what to say or what to think. But it's good that Tracy recorded herself saying these things, you know what I'm saying? Because now there's really nothing to fight in court. It really truly isn't, unfortunately. And I hope that it doesn't even get to that point at all. So Tawanda is happy to hear all of this. And she's told by Trina that Lil Kevin told her that the producers wanted him to film with his father. Tawanda was like, excuse me, what did you say? No, what? She was like, what's his name? OBG, the OJ, whatever his name is, OG. I don't know what the man name. We're gonna call him OB. She called the executive producer, the showrunner, in real quick and was like, "What is this I hear? Because this is not happening under no circumstance." She was like, "That man, Kevin, Big Kevin, will never be allowed on this platform like he was on our previous show." She made that crystal clear. And I was like, "Ooh, girl, this is getting juicy." Like, Tawanda was going off. And one thing that I will say, and I agree with Trina, is that we never really see Tawanda go off the rails and go off. But baby, she was not having it at all. She shut that down real quick, broke the fourth wall, and was like, "We're not about to play with y'all. Absolutely not about to play." And she then went on to say that, they never left their sister. We know that the narrative all these years have been that we got the record deal and we just left her behind, and that Tracy was mad about the situation and how she felt like just because she got pregnant, she wasn't able to go forward with the girls. She said the actual truth was, yes, we did sign the record deal, but that was after Tracy told us to go ahead and do it. And she said that they toured with Luther Vandross, and then after that, they went on tour with Tony because Tony wanted them to come out with her, and that Tracy went out on tour with them too. So it wasn't like she was just left behind. And it was also like she was putting it out there like that was kind of like fed into Tracy to play into the narrative. And I'm guessing that she means that, like, look, I mean, Big Kevin was pumping that in her ear, getting in her ear, trying to turn her against her sisters and have this rift or whatever. And Tawanda was like, we didn't leave my sister. We left you. Talking about Big Kevin. And so I'm guessing maybe he didn't like the fact that she left him behind when she went traveling the world with her sisters after having Kevin. Obviously, he didn't like that. I don't know. It's so much turmoil in this family that I don't even know what to say at this point, because it's just like, ooh, cringy. So after that, we see Tamar in the studio. She's super sad because Tracy's birthday is coming up. And what was a sweet moment was one of the producers that she working with now was actually close friends with Tracy when Tracy was alive. And that Tracy told him, do right by my sister or I'm going to pop you in the lip or whatever. My sister's a sweet person, this, that, and the third, and how she always wanted them to work with each other. And now they are, and Tamar just feels like once again, Tracy is just, working her magic from above. Her single at that point had just gone #1. She talks to Vince on the phone. Vince congratulates her and everything on her success and tells her, to enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. You have to really be pumping out singles. Stop being afraid. Be happy for what you've accomplished, because you did this all by yourself with no record label backing you or anything. And it was really good and refreshing to see them laugh and joke with each other, because we all know that they could laugh and joke with each other, but 5 seconds later they was gonna be going at it, arguing. So it's good to see them being friends, you know what I'm saying, and having a good relationship with each other. And it was good seeing Vince. It really honestly was. Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar and Mama Evelyn get together. And this is Tawanda and Tamar's first time seeing each other since the therapy session. Remember, it kind of left off real strange between the two of them. But she makes it clear in her confessional that she loves Tamar, and if Tamar ever needs anything or whatever, she's right there. Y'all already know how I feel about that whole situation of it all. They discuss, Tawanda brings up what happened with Kevin. And Tamar was like, "Mommy, are you okay with us having this conversation?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But Tamar says in her confessional that she feels like this is a conversation that should not be had in front of their mother, because at the end of the day, they lost their sister, but she lost her child. You know what I'm saying? And I 1000% agree with Tamar, because that's a feeling that None of them have gone through, and hopefully will never have to go through. And it's already hard with her filming the show and constantly talking about Tracy, but then to have that kind of conversation, it is a lot. You know what I'm saying? It is certain conversation that I would try to avoid having around Miss E, but it is what it is at this point. So, Miss Evelyn says that she knows exactly what Tracy wanted for her estate and who she wanted it to go to, but she says because they had numerous conversations about it themselves, and that she said to Tracy, do you think that look Kevin will be strong enough to go against his father? And that Tracy said yeah, and it's going to teach him how to be a man and how to stand up to his father. She already knew this was going to happen. She already knew it. So I don't know if it was a situation with Tracy and Big Kevin where she loved her husband, but she knew that money wise, maybe he ain't no good. And that he got some ways about him. And that's why she didn't want anything to go to him. That's all I'm going to say. Tamar and them were shocked about this conversation and everything. We then see Trina and Vaughn out at the park, and Trina's talking about how she want a grandbaby. You know, she has 2 sons from a previous relationship, and one of her sons is married, and the other one is got a little girlfriend. They both dating white women or whatever. But Vaughn is like, stop pressuring them. They don't want to have children right now. And that at the end of the day, if their girlfriend or wife does get pregnant, it's their decision on whether or not they want to keep it, that the baby is going to be here. And so he tells her that he told her sons, the only thing that you can control is yourself. And if you really don't want to have children, then have a vasectomy. Trina looked at him like, excuse you? Why would you have that type of conversation with my children? She even says in her confessional that he overstepped his boundaries and everything. It's not like her sons are little kids. They're not little kids. They're grown men. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to have children, they don't have to have children. Just because she wants to have a grandbaby doesn't mean anything. Do I think that Vaughn overstepped? No, I don't. I think that he was having a grown conversation with 2 grown men. Is it inconsiderate to his wife's feelings? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's her son's decision whether or not they want to have children. And if they don't, that's just something that she has to accept. Now, I don't know. It's a tough conversation. What y'all think? Do y'all think he was wrong for saying that to them? Because it's the honest truth. We would say that to a young lady if she was dating a guy and he wanted kids and was putting the pressure on, and the girl's like, I don't want to have children right now or ever. The only thing that you can do to avoid that is to, be on some type of birth control. You know what I'm saying? And do everything in your possibility to not have a child, And we wouldn't think that anything was wrong with that for giving a girl the information and the tools that they would need, So I don't know. It's a tricky conversation, but I can see where Trina would be looking at him like, mind your business. But once again, like I said, Vaughn has like this controlling nature about him that I really ain't really feeling for real. So the girls decide to throw Tracy a heavenly birthday party. And unfortunately, Tony couldn't be there because she was in France touring. And Tamar comes and she's sitting with Trina, Tawanda, and Tawanda's friend, and Tracy's friend Denise, and Miss E. And she asked Denise, who was there with Tracy every day when she got sick, what made her do that for her. And she says, basically she was putting it out there that I don't want you to think the reason why I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying, and that you, a friend, had to step up and be there for my sister every day, wasn't because I was just like, fuck my sister, or it was too busy. It was because I didn't know. Nobody told me. She said that she found out on accident. One day she was fixing her closet. Tracy was there with her, helping her, and Miss E was on the phone, hysterical, weeping, crying, or whatever. And it was when Tracy was on hospice is when she found out that she was sick with, esophageal cancer or whatever. And that's fucked up. It really honestly is, that she was the last to know. Now, Trina says that, I think it was Trina or Miss E that said Tony didn't know either. And Tamar was like, she knew. She had already known or whatever. I think that that's really messed up that nobody told her. Was it their place to tell her if Tracy didn't want them to? No. You know what I'm saying? And I would respect her wishes. And the only thing that Tamar could honestly do is be hurt that Tracy didn't want to tell her. You know what I'm saying? But if her words were, don't tell anybody, I'll tell them, y'all keep y'all mouth shut, then what were they to do? What were they to do? Disregard her wishes? You know what I'm saying? But I can understand Tamar feeling some type of way and being hurt, because it is always a situation where she's the last one to know, or isn't told something, or left out of the loop. We've seen this pattern in this family over and over and over again. So I understand why she always feels like the last one to know, or the last one out. And I saw people on social media, bringing up all the things that Tamar said about Tracy in the past, and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, come on, y'all. None of that matters when somebody is on their deathbed, because we're not going to sit up here and pretend like Tamar was in a battle by herself. Tracy had her ways. Tracy had her ways. They went back and forth with each other. But at the end of the day, they were sisters, and they did love each other. And all of that pettiness, because it really was petty, doesn't even matter in the big scheme of things. So let's not even go there. But Trina says, she said that she wanted to tell you herself. And she says, and then during that time, y'all were at odds. And Tamar was like, we weren't at odds. Or is there something that I don't know that you need to tell me? And everybody kind of just looking like, oh, Lord, here we go. Tawanda got up from the table and left and whispered under her breath, it ain't got nothing to do with me. And she even went on to say in her confessional that is Tamar's truth, and she gonna let Tamar have her truth. That gave me very much, that's her story. That's how she feels. That ain't 100% true, but I'm gonna let her have it because I'm not Tracy and I don't get to speak on her behalf. Now, Trina was like, well, y'all had gotten into it. And she was like, no, we were good, before that. And she was like, well, a year before when she opened up for you doing one of your performances. And I guess something happened between the two of them. And Tracy was upset about it or whatever. And she was like, okay, but that was a year ago. Like, that was a year before she gotten sick. Like, come on. It don't even matter. It's not adding up or whatever. I don't know what ended up happening after that, but after that, we don't see Tamar anymore in the scene. I don't know if she had to leave or she got upset and she left, but the dancing and stuff, we didn't see her anymore during that part. And then once again, if that is true that Tracy didn't tell her because they were into it or she was feeling some type of way about something, and now Tamar's finding out that's the reason why, because she was mad about something and she had no clue, because obviously it wasn't something that they discussed before she passed. And we all know that Tamar was there with her. They were on great terms when she passed. You know what I'm saying? So it would be another thing like, well, shit, I'm thinking that, we left off good. We, everything was straight. We talked about everything that needed to be discussed. And then here I find out 2 years later that the reason why I didn't know is because my sister was allegedly mad at me about something. And then even with that being said, I just know for me, myself, when I was diagnosed, any issues that I had with anybody that was close to me, I didn't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I did not care about any of that. I'm up here trying to fight for my life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what type of mind frame Tracy was in that going through something like that. I wouldn't tell my sister, because whatever I was mad about, like I said, it ain't like she stole my husband, stole from me or anything like that. So I don't know what go through people's mind. All I can say is how I will react. But that was the end of the episode. This family is, a mess. It is just so much pain and hurt and backstabbing and manipulation and lying, and it's just a lot, child. Lord, I don't know what kind of curse over this family, but Lord, break that curse immediately. I'm gonna give this week's episode of the Braxtons, I'm gonna give it a C+. I need for the energy to pick up. I don't want to sound messed up for saying this, but I really don't want every episode to be about Tracy. It's getting really sad and depressing. Not even getting, it is. Can we get some type of fun activity, some laughter, something? Like, I understand this season is in tribute of her. The show and them even coming back is in tribute of her. But like, this is too heavy every week. Jesus Christ. Do y'all feel the same way, or is it just me? Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. I love you guys. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, please thumbs up this video and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos drop. And if you haven't joined me over on Patreon, please do so. Over there you get everything early, and you get the cussing version, and for my second level, which is $10 a month, you not only get all of my reviews, but you get to see my reaction videos. We're about to start watching Fight Night, the new series on Peacock starring Kevin Hart, Samuel L. Jackson, Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson, and more. And we're going to start season 8 of Selling Sunset. So I'm going to be doing live drops so we can watch it together. So join me over on Patreon so you guys can participate. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.